Conservative media viewers, what's going on? It's me, John D. Villarreal, and my
Hello,
wife,
everybody.
Salma. Yep, she's in the
This is a
mix.
pita bread. Look how
That's the finished
gorgeous the
result.
pocket of the pita bread.
Looks awesome.
This recipe is really easy.
So yummy.
This is a pita bread.
Right?
All what you need for this recipe is basically one tablespoon of milk powder, 2 tablespoons of milk powder.
Right.
Sorry, 1 tablespoon and quarter tablespoon of dry yeast.
Okay.
2 tablespoons of milk powder, as I said. 1 tablespoon of sugar. We have 1 teaspoon of salt and 3 cups of flour,
Nice.
and half teaspoon of mahlab omit if it's not available in your home or your house. All what you have to do at the beginning is mix all the dry ingredients very well.
Cool. Looks good. So you like to mix it? You're still doing that mixing with your hand. You like that better?
I love mixing with my hands
Okay.
and do all kind of stuff with my
Got your
hands.
olive oil there in the background.
So just mix the dry ingredients, the salt, the sugar, the yeast, the flour, and the milk powder. Then, as you see, John, I have to add 1 cup of warm water. It can be room temperature.
Okay.
And then another half cup of water.
Okay.
Then I have also to add 1 tablespoon of olive oil.
Nice. I like it. So now you're putting this stuff together.
As you can see in all my recipes, first I mix the dry ingredients,
Okay.
and then I add the wet ingredients. In this case, it's the olive oil and the water.
You want to make sure everything's really mixed.
Exactly. I use my hands, and again, you can use the food processor, KitchenAid, whatever you have available at your home. I love to use my hands.
Okay.
You just have to mix the ingredients very well. Just pay attention that if the dough gets sticky, you always have to add a little bit of flour. Remember, every flour or each flour requires different amount of water. So always, as I said in my previous videos, always for 3 cups of flour, start with 1 cup of water, and then add the addition amount. It must be added gradually.
So if I was using, for instance, wheat flour, I might use a little bit different amount of water than if I was using rice flour or tapioca flour.
No, not just that.
Oh.
Even the same wheat flour with different brands requires a different amount of water.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
So you got to kind of find out what's going to work for you.
Exactly. And what do you have basically available?
So now here,
So as you can see,
you're whipping
now
it up.
it's not sticky.
Slamming
As I
it.
said before, if it gets a little bit sticky, just add a little bit of flour.
Now, why do you
and
slam it on
just,
the bowl? You're punching it, you're flipping it.
I love to tease the dough so
Okay.
much.
That does what?
Just tease it so the gluten basically get activated. Some kind of like, some sources says that if you play a lot with the dough, it's just you tease the yeast, you tease the gluten.
Makes it
and-
better.
Exactly.
Okay. That's
So
cool.
as you can see, I'm trying to form a ball here, a big dough ball.
So now we've
Look
got
how
your dough
gorgeous
ball.
is it?
Looks good.
See, it's not sticky anymore. And then, as always, let the dough set aside in a warm place, covered with moist and floured cloth
Okay.
for almost 1 hour. And then from this, until obviously it doubled in size. And then you start forming these small pieces or small balls. Like take small pieces of the dough and form or shape them as balls.
Okay, cool. Cool. Now this is what you're going to put to
If they
bake
get
it,
a
right?
little bit sticky, just add on your hands a little bit of flour.
Oh, flour.
And again,
Okay.
yeah, and again, same procedure. Always forming like small balls, and then if see here a little bit got sticky, I add a little bit of flour just to make sure that it doesn't get stick to my hands.
Okay, that's cool.
Generally form these these small balls delicately. When you play, or better, when you make this recipe, you can feel how much the dough is very soft as well. So you will like this recipe a lot.
Okay, that's good. So you're working now.
And then I put them on a parchment paper. And then on the surface, I just put a little bit of coconut oil. Why is that? Because I don't want them to dry, because I have to leave them for almost like, 15, 20 minutes to relax, let the dough relax. So I oiled the surface to avoid the dryness.
Okay. So now they're sitting and you're putting a little oil in them. You're getting them ready.
Exactly.
Okay. That's good. That looks
Always
good.
the same procedure.
How many of them approximately you have here?
So with 3 cups, as you can see, I did
About 16, 15, 8. Okay.
No, because the last second patches was fatire.
Oh, okay.
That you can check, peeps, with the video that yesterday we have uploaded.
Right.
We have previously uploaded to YouTube.
So now you
So
take
as you can
it here.
see, this is after 15, 20 minutes. I take these small pieces of the doughs, and you can even obviously you can't feel it. I felt it, but it was very, very soft.
Yeah, it looks soft.
And always make sure you cover the rest of the small doughs, because you want to avoid dryness. So again, here I'm just extending the dough. This is, I guess, like everyone
And you
knows
basically
how to
flour
do
it up so it doesn't stick to everything.
Exactly.
Okay. So how do you know how big to make it?
Well, this is personal preference.
Okay.
Everyone is free to choose the size and the shape that he wants.
Well, what are you looking for in terms of making
I like to do circular, medium
Okay.
size
Okay.
with the circular shape. This is like the pita bread. They have to have this circular shape.
Because you want to make sure it's thick enough that you can split it and put stuff in it, right?
Exactly. You want to make sure that they are have enough space to use them as a sandwich bread.
So talk about, real quick, just to give people some understanding, what kinds of things would you eat pita with? You'd eat it with
Pita bread, you can eat it with everything. And what
Okay.
I mean with that, the fact that it has a pocket, once you open it, it gives you this possibility, or the chance to stuff it with any material you want: cheeses, honeys, steaks, meat, chicken, anything.
So it's used a lot as a sandwich, but it's also used as kind of a side bread too.
Yeah, but what I like with that, with the pita bread, you don't get messy. I mean, you can eat, and you have everything in your basically pocket bread,
Right.
pita bread, and you're not messy.
Because it
and I
closes
like
the
it.
back there so it doesn't fall
Yeah,
on
you just basically open one extremity, like on the top, and everything is closed. So you have basically one part that is open, where which allows you to stuff it.
you. So now you put them back over here.
Yeah, and I let it rest for another 15, 20 minutes.
Okay.
See here, after 15, 20 minutes, I already prepared aside a pan on medium heat.
Okay.
And as you can see, you always have to flip these pita bread every almost 3-4 seconds, just to make sure it doesn't it doesn't burn on the sides. Now you can see, John, I will show you how it will rise.
Sure.
Yeah, it's very pretty.
Looks good already. This stuff is so good.
It's actually this now the process of
It still feels pretty light.
baking it, or
Okay.
cooking it. It's gorgeous, because you can feel the rise, the bread that is rising, and it's very
Well, it's
pretty.
interesting how you do it because
See, as
here-
you can see, it's
That's right.
rising.
Oh, yeah.
Look how pretty it is.
Here in America, we would
And
call that
look,
frying.
see, John, what I said, what I did. Sometimes you have in the pita bread, one part that rise and the other part doesn't rise. So you want to just help it with the spatula. Just compress the part that has risen, and to make
Risen?
sure risen. Sorry.
Right.
Risen, so you make sure that basically the the air that has formed in this place get also to the other areas, so
It's pretty cool.
the
It's almost
rise
like
is
bread popcorn.
homogeneously.
It's almost like bread popcorn. I like it. I mean, it's looking really good. What I like about this bread is it's really kind of tastes light, Now, did you put? Are you putting any? You're not really putting any oil in that at this point, right?
No, that's it.
Okay.
There's
So
no
just
oil.
kind of heat. It's almost sort of like what we would do with maybe a tortilla, in a way.
It's very similar to the recipe of tortilla. The point is, the only difference is the tortilla doesn't rise.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. Well, not like that anyway. And okay. So, and how long are you going to do this for each
And
side?
the tortilla doesn't have a pocket like the pita bread.
Right. No. 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 And how long are you going to do this for each side?
As I said, every 3-4 seconds you have to flip every
Okay.
side till it has this golden brown color,
Yeah.
and then you know that your pita bread is ready,
Okay.
as you can see.
Cool. Looks really good.
See, as you can see, I'm just compressing with the spatula on one part of the pita bread that has risen. So also the air that has developed inside the pita bread can spread to the rest of the pita bread.
Nice.
So the rice can be homogeneously.
So start to finish, how long would you think this would
Homogeneous,
take?
sorry. What?
Start to finish, let's say, approximately how long is this?
So mixing all the ingredients as you saw before, it takes you, I don't know, let's say 6 minutes,
Okay.
and then you have to wait 1 hour, for the yeast to
Set, rise, all that stuff.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
To proof, you need to proof for an hour,
Right.
and then once you make these small balls, you wait for other 15 minutes, and then you extend them and wait till they also prove and rise for other 15-20 minutes, and then that's it. You just do them.
And so it sounds like
The
it's
whole
kinda
process maybe
2.5
2 hours.
hours.
2 hours.
All right.
I say 2 hours.
Okay, that's cool.
And 3 cups makes you almost 8 pita breads.
Okay. Okay.
Medium size, obviously, because if you make them bigger size, you will make less than 8.
And that should, it depends on how many people you have, but that should last you probably 3-4 meals for 2 people or something like that.
Well, that depends how much every person
Yeah, I
eats.
mean, sure. Okay, that's cool. So now you're kind of moving through this. You're almost done cooking most of these.
Yeah.
Excellent. And what would you suggest people eat with these in general?
Well, John,
Chicken
as I
sandwiches, lamb
exactly,
sandwiches,
you can
hummus,
chicken,
meat.
hummus, cheese. You can put even Nutella. I don't know,
Eggs.
eggs, whatever you wanna.
Yeah, there's
you
a
know.
lot of different options. Look at that. Wow.
It's a bread that
Very
you can use with
versatile.
everything.
Yeah.
Seriously, with everything.
So now here you're going to cut it open, show people the final result. That looks great.
Here, when I cut it, I had the intent to show people the pocket.
So we got a lot of other cooking. Look at that. Look how gorgeous that is. Great job, Salma. Beautiful.
Thank you.
I love it.
Did you
It's
like
great.
them?
I love it. It's great to eat.
Stay tuned for the next videos.
Lots of more cooking videos, more Salma's Kitchen coming up. Thanks so much. I'm John. That's Salma. We'll see you next time.